Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. And I'm doing this from my own perspective here and my own experience. Now, I've had two narcissists in my life, and also narcissistic parent, okay, and you know, and I don't feel sometimes that it's a full narcissism when I talk about narcissistic parents here. One of my parents was maybe mid-range narcissist, and I will go over that of narcissistic parents. But what narcissistic parentage does is it actually screws you up for life, and you become, you know, all you want to do is fix your parent or please your parent or be accepted by your parent or even noticed by your parent. All you want is some kind of validation from your parent. And they do this purposely. They actually continuously move the goalpost. Now what this does, it really screws you up growing up with a narcissistic parent. And you don't even realise, come on, you don't realise as a child what a narcissist is, what the game is here, because it's all a game with narcissism. It's all a game. It's all, playing and pressing your buttons and just driving you crazy, and watching your vulnerabilities, watching your sensitivities, and when you've got a narcissistic parent pushing those buttons on a child, it can be so damaging to you. And it's kind of what you do as you're growing up. You're trying to work this out. So let's move that out of the way for the moment. I will cover that bit, you know, having a narcissistic parent, whatever range they are. So just because they're narcissists does not mean that they're full-blown malignant narcissist. They could be anywhere in that kind of spectrum, borderline, mid-range, or, you know, right at the far end of the spectrum, which is the malignant narcissist. Now, I think, I've lots and lots of things I'd love to talk about, but I want to I'm spilling out here what's on my mind. And I'm going through the recovery phase at this present time. And when you go through the recovery phase, it highlights many people in your life that, okay, you know, I let the guard down with that person and that person and that person. And I have possibly borderline narcissists in my family, siblings, and this kind of spreads out, you know, it kind of spreads out wide when you realise you've been subjected to narcissistic abuse. Now, having narcissistic parents kind of grooms you to accept this. Do they know about this? Well, for some reason they look down at you because they have this grandiose idea that a parent is much higher than a child, and they always put you in your place and all that kind of thing. But you think it's discipline, but some of this is narcissism. Some of it's discipline, some of it's narcissism. Now, where am I going with this? I'm shooting all over the place with this, but because I'm going through the healing process, I'm trying to explore my own feelings while I'm trying to extend this out to you now. which phase am I in? Because you go backwards and forwards with the healing process. You actually want to make no contact desperately once you realise you have a narcissistic abusive partner. And believe me, you will get to know that if you are the primary source here. You will get to know that. And when you know that this is like full-blown kind of serious kind of stuff here. This person's got a mental issue. They have a personality disorder. They cannot reason. They cannot sit down and talk. They have tantrums. You know, if you've got an opinion, they will try to crush every single opinion that you have. And you realise this is not normal. Normal people don't do that, okay? And we will explore all those different things, but I guess that I'm more advanced in, and I don't know where you are in your healing process. Please put your comments down below. But I get that I thought that I was almost through this, but I realised that I'm only halfway through my healing. My healing started, I would say, about 2 years ago, when I knew I had to get out of there. I think I knew it before then, but it was, yeah. So what I want to do, I don't want to go through my own story here, but I would like to share that with you, and I'm sure you'd be interested in that. But I want to look at this specific part here of my healing process, because when you go no contact with a narcissist, and because of the raging, and you know that they're grooming other supplies, because they tell you about it. And I know this sounds crazy, but are you in denial? Maybe you're in denial and you're thinking, oh well, they're just talking about somebody from work, or they're just talking about someone, but they could be this is how manipulative narcissists are. They will say that they're talking about somebody innocent, like a married co-worker who's happily married with 5 kids. They even may make this up. This person may, you know, in their early 50s with grandkids and all this kind of thing. They may make this up and say to you, oh, this woman at work get on so well, and you're kind of squinting, thinking, well, you're thinking, okay, well, he gets on with somebody at work really well, or some situation really well. Let's not forget that this person is a narcissist, okay? And this person is looking for a trigger, something that will make you emotive, looking for any expression and any response, you know, to feed that narcissistic empty shell of theirs, to make them feel as if they're like a king and they're worthy. And this is the evil side of them, okay? Because when you show any kind of emotion, whether it's a squint or whether you look puzzled of him talking about somebody at work or whoever this is, partly they are grooming this person, yeah, and partly there's lots of things going on here that, you know, that, don't forget, this person is damn crazy. So, and part of them are testing you to see how much you would how much narcissistic supply you would offer them in terms of your response to that. What they're trying to do is induce jealousy in you, induce insecurity in you, induce a reaction from you, induce anger from you, induce any emotion from you, because let's not forget here, the narcissist feeds off your emotions. And this is so so confusing when this is happening to you. But as I've said here, the reason, what is it that kind of would alert you to your narcissist grooming a secondary supply, or grooming somebody to replace you because you've become quite dull, that you're now tarnished because they have kind of won you, and it's boring and it's not a challenge anymore, and narcissists get bored. Once they've conquered that challenge and they realise, with me, I thought that I was quite impossible to manipulate because I'd already been through narcissism before. But this person was covert. They were a covert narcissist. So they're very good at acting. They will switch on the charm. They will love bomb you in a second. They will tell you everything that you want to hear. They will study you to find out what it is that makes you fall in love with a man. Okay, that's what they do when they love bomb you. You may love to have romantic walks in the countryside. You may love to walk around old kind of historical buildings and churches and cathedrals, and breathe in that atmosphere, and the architecture and all of that kind of thing. Well, they will study you and they will find that out about you, but in reality they hate that. They don't even love anything. They don't have a passion about anything in life. No passions, only what they can extract from other human beings. That is their main focus. So, they will pretend, and this is what this was my part of my healing process, that whenever the narcissist was not getting any kind of secondary narcissistic supply, and they was becoming very depressed and low over this, and then realizing that I actually am slipping through their fingers too because of the way they have ignored me in the past, they start to love bomb you because they need at least something. They need something to feed that empty shell here. Now, what are the signs here that he's setting up somebody else, or he's stepping into another love affair, having sex with somebody else, or kind of getting ready to move on to this person? Okay. Well, the first thing that you kind of, you may kind of, they may not talk to you for a long time. They may go very silent on you. I would not say freeze you out or anything like that. Just very silent. You used to have, he tried to have discussions with you, try to evoke emotion from you, try to, please you, because he needs you to support his mental health and keep him stable. But when there's a secondary supply there, they talk about this person. Now, because they want to brag, because of their grandiose side of their personality, which they don't have anyway, they will brag to you about this wonderful person. And it's like what they're doing here is triangulating you, trying to evoke jealousy from you, trying to evoke some kind of response from you. This is what this is. But also they're doing the absolute same with the other, with the other source, the secondary supply. So they will start to do this in front of you, and it's also testing you to see if you would accept this, which is heartbreaking. When you think that you've met, the love of your life, he loves to go country walks, he loves to go and visit art galleries and all of those things, that's perfect for you because that's what you love. And you used to, in the love bombing phase, you used to talk about travelling, where you'd love to go, also where you'd like to live, and it's like it's exactly the mirror to you, your soulmates. But what you don't realise, and you do realise when they start to show this side of themselves, that you are dealing with someone with some kind of issue here, is they start to talk about people, and then they start to look at people in front of you. And what they're doing is they're triangulating you with strangers here. They're testing you because they want to drain you of your energy, of all the energy that you can give to this person. And that's hurt, and that's pain, and that's all the horrible emotions, the dark emotions. All the dark emotions. You will kind of say, hey, what are you doing? I'm sorry, I'm not having you treat me like that. It's so disrespectful. And when you do kind of tell them this is your values, this is your integrity, and you're now questioning their morals, and they don't like it. And they start to, because they want to, why they're doing this is because they want to act like this. They want to do this whether they're with you or not. They want to continue with this diabolical behaviour. It's all about getting attention. They're attention whores. Total attention whores. And believe me, I've been with an attention whore, and it is so painful because I'm not like that. But they choose you because you're not like that. They know that they can trust you, rely on you, and you're not like that. Because why are you not like that? It's because you are very secure within yourself, and you are happy within yourself, that your cup is not half full. Your cup is full. With this narcissist, their cup's empty, and they are forever trying to fill that cup up. So it's all testing here, but they do this first. They test you to see if you will accept this behaviour, and just turn a blind eye, because that's what they want you to do, is to turn a blind eye to their cheating. So they will look at women, get you to get used to this, like it's normal, when it's not normal, okay? And they'll continue to talk about other women. So when they do talk about their secondary supply, you will not suspect anything, because because they have to brag about it. You see, they have to tell you about it. They will have to tell you about it, but they will tell you about it as an experience of somebody else. They will say, hey, I've got this male friend, and this woman at work is just chasing him all the time, and he's married, and it's like when they go in the coffee room, she's all over him like a rash, and it's quite funny, really, and that kind of, I don't know what his girlfriend's going to think, and so they tell you in a different way, and they will tell you about this oh, you know, this woman at work, or it's not, you know, it's a girl, it'll probably be somebody in their 20s, but they make out that it's somebody in their 50s, and they'll say, you know, this woman at work, or this guy at work, oh, he's a lovely guy, or he's a lovely woman, she's a lovely woman, you know, she helps me, she's so, you know, you'll say, oh, what's her name? And he'll make another name up. He'll say, her name is probably Christine. And he'll call her Caroline or something. Oh, Caroline. Oh, she's married and all that kind of thing. But, you know, she makes me tea, and I sit down and she'll give me a shoulder massage. And you're thinking, well, that's a bit, you know, and these conversations get more and more each day. Oh, you know, Caroline that I was talking about? Well, I've actually decided to give her a lift home because, you know, she's got 5 kids, and her husband's a policeman, and he works such long hours. I've met him, he's a great guy. And I thought, you know, I'd take her, I'd just drop her off, and it's possibly miles out of his way. And you're saying, are you sure you want to do that? That's pretty much out of your way to travel, to drop somebody else off from work. And, oh, no, that's who I am. That's my nature. You know, Mr. Great Guy, because that's how they try to portray themselves. And all along, this Caroline is called Christine. And this Caroline is around 28 years old, and you know, your partner is like, I don't know, mid-30s, mid-40s, and she's not married, okay, and they have, and he's starting to love bomb her, and you're hearing the stories about this Caroline, and it's like, you know, she's so interested in psychology. And you say, well, you've never talked about psychology with me. You've never spoke about psychology. Okay, well, and you're kind of thinking, I've been with this guy 10 years and he's not mentioned about any deep conversation about psychology. And you're thinking, what the hell? And suddenly he's into all these things, you know. Oh, I love listening to this band. Oh, I like listening to this woman artist. Oh, she's fantastic. And, you know, you're suddenly listening to this music, and you think, well, this is a sort of music that a woman would listen to, not a guy. And actually, this is like for like 20-year-olds. This music, it's not like something like a 45-year-old would, you know, that kind of thing. I'm not saying being ageist here, but you're kind of thinking that something does not ring right here or ring true. I would say this is the first sign that this narcissist is love bombing somebody else, and they're telling you that they're giving you narrative what they're doing, because they have to brag about it, they have to be show-offy about it. And also, they start to become very elevated and very grandiose in their behaviour. Their confidence hits the roof. And it's like they come into the room, they're like a whirlwind. Hey, you know what I've been doing today? I've been doing this, that and the other. And you know, Caroline? Oh, well, it's been great. And we had a bit of a laugh today. And you know, I'm actually going out on Friday. And we're going to this bar. Is that okay with you? Because some of the guys from work are going as well. And it's just really, you know, and you know, I've had a great day today. It's been fantastic, and we've got this thing coming up, and these teaching sessions. Wow, it's great, and it's like they're a different person. And they also take on an identity that you've not seen before. That's another clue that they're actually grooming somebody else, because what they're doing is mirroring this other person's personality. and they're acting so flirtatious, like it's a game too. And you're thinking, who is you don't even recognise this person. Now, I've been through this with this person that I'm trying to recover from, and this is so bamboozling, because this is what they do in this situation. They're on top of the world when they're getting the response from the person that they've targeted as a secondary supply. And when they're getting that response, you know, they've spent quite a few weeks grooming this person. And also they may have in their harem, their secondary, third people that have been put on the shelves from like 6 or 7 years ago, that they still contact now and again, just to keep them in that harem that you don't even know about. You don't even know who these people are. Or it may be an ex, or a very kind of needy kind of person that they dated before you. But they've got a different name. They'll have a different name on their phone. They may even put a male name. They may even put, like, instead of Andrea, they may put Andrew. So you don't suspect. And so when they are ready to move on to, they've almost kind of groomed this person to move on to the next stage. And when they're about to cheat on you, they start to be very kind of grandiose and acting like this person, because they've groomed them so much, they've mirrored them so much, they've been a chameleon, and they've taken on their identity, that actually you don't even recognise this person. You think, who are you? I don't even recognise you anymore. When we go out, you're so upbeat that you're looking at every single woman that walks by. And also they become quite rude, and there's put downs at this point too, because they're setting up this other. When they're almost there, they start to devalue you. This is what narcissists do. Now, this grandiosity is a big red flag when they start to emulate somebody else right in front of your eyes. Now, don't blame yourself, because this has nothing to do with you. This is to do with their mental disorder. Okay, this is attention whoring to the full. Now, if this person that they're grooming does not kind of respond as they thought they would respond, and they kind of say, brush them off, and they've spent months and months and months, they've almost got close to having sex with them, that they've kissed, they've hugged, and that kind of thing, and then all of a sudden this secondary supply backs out, you will find that the narcissist will hit an all-time low, because they're looking to extract, from other people to feed that empty shell. They're looking for narcissistic supply. So when this person, this new supply, kind of says, "Oh no, you've got a girlfriend, you've got a wife, I'm sorry, I've made a mistake," and they kind of pull away, you will find that the narcissist goes into a deep depression. So they go from this elevated, grandiose state here, when they're almost there sleeping with them, to this rock bottom, depressive, narcissistic, injured person, and they will start to be nice to you. They will start to love bomb you because they realise that they need to get their narcissistic supply. So they go back to their old supply. Now this is whether you are with them or not. You know, if they've decided to run around with this young girl for a while and you split up, you went no contact because you got sick of being abused like this, and this secondary supply said, oh, I've decided no, I'm going to go back with my husband or my ex, and they will come back to you. They will come back love bombing you, and you'll start all over again with liking going to the theatre, liking going to art galleries, loving the countryside in the autumn, watching the leaves fall off the trees, all kind of, they know how to hook you back by being the perfect guy. This is when you know that they have cheated on you, okay? Or being, I would say emotional cheating is cheating too. So if they've just hugged and kissed and been soothing to each other, massage, all that kind of thing, that to me is cheating. So if you see any of these signs where this person is all of a sudden so grandiose, and then starts to devalue you, you get sick of it because they're abusing you. They're telling you that, oh, look at you, look at the state of you. Why would I even want to be with you? You don't even clean up properly. You don't cook properly. Everything that you do is wrong, because they have set up this new supply and they're almost there. They're almost there. When they start to abuse you like this, it's kind of it's panic mode. It's like, I need to now end it, or temporarily, or push this person to split up with me so I can go with this secondary supply. You see, they're so arrogant, are narcissists. It's part of this disorder, and they will blame you for this disorder. Let's not forget that all this attention seeking and wanting, adoration, validation from all these females is, it is a disorder. It's to fill a void. So, like I said, if this person turns out to be not what they, not great supply, it's kind of on and off. This, the new supply is pretty selfish. That they're not really high grade supply like the primary source, like you. They will start to second guess this secondary supply, and then come back to you and work on you to love bomb you again. But this is also to pull this secondary supply, who will then be jealous that they've gone back to you, and the secondary supply, that they stop contacting the secondary supply, and the secondary supply starts to miss them because they're needy. Don't forget, they've been targeted because they're vulnerable, and they miss that Mr. Perfect, that Mr. Love Bomber. So then they start contacting your narcissist, who then has you and has the secondary supply, but does not want to, because the secondary supply has proved a little bit that they're not as kind of up to your kind of grade, that they keep you around and they keep them around, And that's when you know when they are cheating, because their moods are so changeable when they're cheating. They will love bomb you one minute, and the next minute they will start to devalue you, because you know the secondary supply is kind of giving them the supply that they need. And then you go no contact, okay, because you're backwards and forwards, push pull, that you think there's something wrong here, I'm sick of this abuse, I'm going to go no contact. Well, if it's going well with the secondary supply, after no contact you won't hear a thing from this narcissist until the secondary supply has an opinion, has also noticed there's a problem in him, and he's noting that he's got flaws, and they're starting to argue. That's when he will also triangulate you with the new supply, and vice versa. That she maybe have a big argument and fallout, and on and off, and then the narcissist will come and love bomb you again with, you know, let's go to the art gallery, let's go to that lovely place that you like, you know, with all the fake promises again. Yeah, we'll move into that beautiful cottage, we'll go to that beautiful place that you like, you know, we'll do all those things that you have dreamt of, and come back. And when you see this, you know, you always go, they say that you go back to a narcissist at least 7 times before you realise that this is a pattern. Because I would say all narcissists cheat. They have to cheat. They need to cheat because they have to fill that empty void. So all of these signs here, if you're getting these signs, I would say that your narcissist is definitely cheating. Okay. And also having their phone in front of them 24/7, pretending they're playing a game on it, is also a sign, because they're trying to keep this harem going, you see. So that's my take. That's the experience I had with my narcissist, and that's why I went no contact. And we'll look at that going no contact too, because I have been hoovered a number of times, and we'll look at hoovering too, when it doesn't, you know, when it obviously it's not working out with the secondary supply. Thank you for listening, and I will see you soon for more of these videos, and bye for now. Bye bye.